Good evening, welcome all. Today is Monday, July 11. Welcome to the Village Board meeting for the Village of Pleasantville. As always, you can pick us up on PCTV76.org, and you can also watch live on Verizon or Optimum Cable TV. And within a few days, you can pick up an on-demand webcast of this and past meetings again at PCTV76.org. So it's a great night for us tonight, a nearly unprecedented night, I think. To have two promotions and a swearing-in ceremony, total of 3 members of the Pleasantville Police Department here tonight to occupy new roles. So I invite our Chief, Eric Rutzner, to begin the evening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. So this is, to the best of my knowledge, this is the only time that we've performed all of these ceremonies together in one night. So this is a very exciting time for the police department. And so I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce and reintroduce and discuss sort of how we see these promotions and these and this new hire moving our department forward. So good evening, Mayor Scheer, Village Trustees, Village Administrator Morrissey, members, family, and friends of the Pleasantville Police Department and the Pleasantville community. Normally when we do these types of things, I tell Eric, if you could just put us on first, I'll go fast and then we'll get out as quickly as possible. But I think tonight is a little bit different due to the scope of all of the movements that we're making here. So first and foremost, I'd like to introduce our newest officer to the board and to the community, and that's Officer Juan Alonzo. So Officer Alonzo comes to us after having spent almost 7 years in a urban police setting. So he comes with a great deal of experience in keeping with one of the tenets that we have, if not established, at least attempted to use to our advantage. He was recommended by another new hire who came here. And so we are excited that he comes recommended in that way. Officer Alonzo has already completed the crisis intervention training that has become a critical component of our training module going forward for all of our members of the department. Additionally, he has received his principal policing instruction. He was a field training officer on his previous job, and so he comes with a great deal of knowledge, great deal of experience and training that he's going to bring to us here. Officer Alonzo, this is also unusual in the fact that Officer Alonzo was sworn in. We had the opportunity to swear Officer Alonzo in. So this is a ceremonial pinning today, but the oath of office obviously is a critical thing that we do. And so what we've learned in the last 10 days about Officer Alonzo is that he came as advertised. It was noted during his background investigation that he really enjoyed working with the community, being a part of the community, and we've seen that already a great number of times. He is reliable, he's conscientious, and he remains calm in stressful situations. So we are really looking forward to this. And the one thing I can say about Officer Alonzo is if you're seeing Officer Alonzo, chances are he has a smile on his face. He has been nothing but appreciative and gracious in his short time here, and we're looking forward to him being here for a long time. So if Juan, if you could come forward, sworn in.
Juan, if you would repeat after me and raise your right hand. I, Juan Alonzo,
I, Juan Alonzo,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the codes of the Village of Pleasantville,
and the codes of the Village of Pleasantville,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of police officer
the duties of police officer
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my abilities.
Welcome, sir. We are delighted to have you.
So next up, I have the opportunity to take a few minutes to speak about soon-to-be Sergeant Erin Holly. So Officer Holly was hired here in Pleasantville in 2011. After, again, serving a number of years, she transferred here from also an urban police setting. During her time here, She has become an FBI certified defensive tactics instructor. She's been trained as a bicycle officer to increase our presence in the village with our community policing initiatives. She's participated in the Westchester County Youth Academy, which provides an opportunity for young people within the county to get the feel for what it's like to serve as a police officer and start to understand some of the challenges that we face on a day-to-day basis. So we thought that was an incredibly important initiative that she participated with. And she is currently one of our field training officers. And again, as we've spoken about many times before, field training officers have a very esteemed position in a law enforcement agency, and the fact that they are bringing the new officers in, showing them the ropes, how things are done, and creating, establishing, and maintaining the culture that we're trying to grow. In addition, Erin has undergone a great deal of professional growth in the time that she has been here. She regularly volunteers and accepts assignments that expand the scope of her duties. She has shown a desire to learn more and taken on more administrative and investigative tasks. And if you are in the village, you know that Erin is highly visible. She is very approachable in and around the community, and that is a critical aspect that we believe for our officers to be. The other important thing to consider now is that going forward, there have been and will continue to be some retirements of some of the more senior members of our department, and we are going to look to our newest sergeants to fill that leadership void that we are going to experience. We think Officer, soon-to-be Sergeant Holly, is extremely capable and ready to handle that assignment. Police work is a changing profession, and as we move forward, our communities are going to continue to expect more and more from us, not only in the things that we do, but how we do them. And I am convinced that Officer, soon-to-be Sergeant Holly, has shown the aptitude and the ability to handle those changes and lead our department forward. First-line supervision is critical to creating a culture of openness, responsiveness, and Sergeant Holly has the skills to create that culture here in our department and continue to move it forward. So at this point, Erin, come forward.
My pleasure, Erin, to be here for the swearing in of you as a sergeant. I was here at the swearing in of you as an officer, and both of us have been committed to this village for a good long while, and it is a great pleasure to have the opportunity to participate in your elevation. Raise your right hand if you would and repeat after me. I, Erin Holly,
I, Erin Holly,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the codes of the Village of Pleasantville,
and the codes of the Village of Pleasantville,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of Police Sergeant
the duties of Police Sergeant
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my abilities.
Sergeant Holly, congratulations. Whoa, you got to be pinned on. I think her family here, boyfriend Lou, son Tristan.
Yep.
Those guys want to come on up? Here's your chance to poke her with a pin. And your dad, congratulations.
Thank you. Remember?
Oh, wow.
Oh, look at that. There's even holes there. I don't seamstress. Here it is.
Looks good on you.
Great job.
Congratulations.
So our final promotion for the evening is the promotion to lieutenant for Kevin Gilmartin. Kevin is an 18-year veteran of this police department. He began here in the village of Pleasantville. He is a general topics instructor. In addition, he is our firearms instructor and has been our department armorer for the past 10 years. During that time, he has led this department through a number of new training modules in the response to critical incidents, and has always been proactive about staying responsive and keeping our department and our officers trained to the best of their ability. And for the past 2 years, he's been our senior sergeant in our patrol division. So what I know about Kevin is that he has a great love and appreciation for the village of Pleasantville. He appreciates a great deal that he started his career here and has served this community tirelessly and ethically and responsibly for the last 18 years. During that time, he's shown the ability and personality to succeed in a management role. His loyalty to the department will be manifested in new and challenging ways. The transition from being a supervisor to being a manager is much more difficult than maybe sometimes it appears, but I am confident that even though Kevin might no longer be a sergeant, his priorities and his ethical approach to the way he handles his job will carry him through, as it always has. So I talked a little bit about what Sergeant Gilmartin has done in the past and the duties he has, but Lieutenant Gilmartin will be tasked with handling a number of things as this department moves forward. He will be in charge of increasing training for our officers in our response to bias incidents. He'll be spearheading our participation with Westchester County's Project Alliance, which includes the return of the Mobile Crisis Response Team, as well as 911 diversion for mental health emergencies. He will be liaisoning with our schools in order to make sure that school safety remains the paramount priority that it is currently. He will be coordinating and organizing many of, if not all of our special events that we go on throughout the year. And as we know, that is another area in which constant vigilance and constant responsiveness is critical. And he will be assisting myself and the rest of the management team with our goal for New York State accreditation. So, like I said before, Kevin is one of the more senior members of our department. It's a great personal and professional honor to ask him to come up at this point now and be sworn in as a lieutenant.
My honor as well, Kevin. A really great 18 years, and we look forward to the next 18 years. Promise?
Yes, sir.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Kevin Gilmartin,
I, Kevin Gilmartin,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the codes of the Village of Pleasantville,
and the codes of the Village of Pleasantville,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of Police Lieutenant
the duties of Police Lieutenant
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my abilities.
Lieutenant Gilmartin. Do I think Kevin's wife Maureen and kids Liam and Rowan are here? Opportunity to poke him, kids. So let me just say, and I can let the chief finish, but congratulations, Juan, Erin, and Kevin, and congratulations to you, Chief, and to Lieutenant Jesse Wollman, and to all the members of the department who have come here tonight in support of all of you. I can say with conviction, I've been involved in this board for quite a long time. I've seen a lot of you on your opening day and on your promotion days. And I can say with conviction that under the leadership of the chief, Lieutenant Wollman, recently retired Lieutenant Listwan, our new lieutenant, Kevin Gilmartin, and the sergeants and officers of the force, that I can say with confidence that we have the best department we've had in my tenure here, which is high bar to leap, because we've had a whole lot of good people working on behalf of this community to keep it safe and to keep Pleasantville, and I like, respect, and honor the good work you do, and I look forward to years of service. Kevin's already committed to a minimum 18 more years.
So just in closing, I do want to take a few seconds to acknowledge and thank some people who assisted us through this process. Obviously, Jesse Wollman, my lieutenant, my recently retired Lieutenant John Liswan, critical in moving this process forward. Thank you to the board for your continued support and your faith in what we're doing and where we're trying to go with the department. Eric Morrissey, the village administrator, extremely helpful. But there is a very special thank you that I have to give, and that is to Alyssa Hochstein. She has navigated through this process with me, for me. It's been a very trying time for all of us, but she has handled everything with grace and with great knowledge and great skill. And so, Alyssa, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. So, to the board, thank you again, and great appreciation for your support.
Thank you, Chief.
Hi, how you doing, everyone? I'm Paul Alvarez, village trustee. I just also want to touch up as a 30-year resident. I grew up in Pleasantville, so I've seen a lot of officers, as a child growing up and as a teenager, and I'm really, really proud of what our police department is doing. Specifically, on April 25th, I was a guest at the Police Benevolent Association of Westchester. It was the awards and scholarship luncheon that came to really showcase how amazing our police department is. Specifically, at that time it was Sergeant Kevin Gilmartin, but now Lieutenant, he was awarded, Sergeant Tom Woods, P.O. Jonathan Smith, P.O. Pat Leone, P.O. Peter Burns, P.O. David Casal, of all the great things that they're doing, and that it just shows how much this police department is such a great thing for our village to be proud of, and you have our full support to all officers. I also want to take today's obviously event to congratulate every one of you on such an important event in your lives. Now, Lieutenant Gilmartin, the fact in your career that you've been with us this long and now you've jumped up to such an important position, it's amazing. P.O. Alonzo, welcome to Pleasantville, and we hope that you're also going to follow in the steps of your fellow officers, that what they've been able to do in a village like this that has had commitment from your chief, who's been here for multiple years, and now you're a lieutenant, and we hope that you have that same career. And lastly, I was looking at and just confirming with our records for Officer Holly. I believe that you are our first sergeant that's a woman, and that's an amazing thing to have, because think of how many officers have gone through Pleasantville history, and we have that now. And it's just an example to anyone, any woman, anyone, doesn't matter. It just shows the quality of personnel that we have here in Pleasantville, that we're very diverse, and our police department shows it. And I'm very, very proud of that this village has one of the most diverse, I believe, police departments, and we're doing so much to show that. So a big thank to every one of the officers that's here. Very proud of every one of you, and the village is with you in every way. So thank you.
Thank you.
So in order to complete the cycle and make all of this official, we'll jump forward and do the first three resolutions, which approve these three appointments, and then free you all from the boredom of the balance of our meeting as we go forward. So, Paul, Resolution 204.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees, based upon the recommendation of Chief of Police, hereby appoints Kevin Gilmartin to the position of Police Lieutenant, effective July 12, 2022, at salary of $161,824. Said appointment is subject to probationary period of no less than 12 weeks to a maximum of 52 weeks, and be it further resolved that the mayor is authorized to execute the employment terms and conditions agreement with Lieutenant Kevin Gilmartin. The employment terms and conditions are attached to this resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You're official. Michael, 205.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees, based upon the recommendation of the Chief of Police, hereby appoints Erin Holly to Police Sergeant, job title code 0133, at a salary of $135,784, effective July 12th, 2022.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. Back to you, Paul, 206.
Resolved that the mayor is authorized to execute an amended employment terms and conditions agreement for Lieutenant Jesse Wollman.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. We don't have a resolution for Juan. We've already done that. He is official. So thank you to every one of you, but congratulations to Kevin Gilmartin, Erin Holly, Juan Alonzo, and your families for a great day for us, but certainly a great day for you and your families. Proud day, and exciting to be here with 3 such promotions all going on all at the same time. So thank you all. You're welcome to stay for the rest of what we have to do, but we won't be offended if you choose not to.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thanks again, man.
High five.
High five.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a few other things. We got our executive session
Oh,
afterwards.
no, I know that, but in the regular meeting.
Just these other resolutions, yeah. Thank you, Lieutenant Wollman.
I don't think so. I'll let you know tomorrow. I'll find out.
Thank you very much. Not a huge audience.
So the auto owl seemed to work pretty well. So- Yeah. All right, so back after a brief break while the folks from the police department and their families departed to avoid the rest of our exciting events. I had a few announcements to make, and then we have a few more resolutions. The first is this past Saturday, July 9, was the 16th annual Pleasantville Music Festival. It would have been the 19th annual if COVID hadn't intervened, but it did. So we haven't had a music festival since 2019, none in 2020, none in 2021. It roared back in 2022 this past Saturday, and Parkway Field turned into a pretty amazing place with 3 stages, a main stage, party stage, chill tent stage, a slew of vendors, a slew of food places, a slew of sponsors, and a whole lot of people having a really good day, and 18 bands on 3 different stages. Really quite a remarkable day, and I say with a little bit of pride that I am not aware of any community of our size that pulls off something of this scale and pulls it off with such a positive effect. And so a zillion people deserve credit for that, but first and foremost, our festival director, Bruce Figler, has done this a few years running, has slogged through a whole lot of challenges as we brought this back in COVID precautions, out of COVID precautions, people coming and going, new people trying to remember how we did this 3 years ago when we have kind of lost our muscle memory. I just want to offer a shout out to Bruce Figler, community member who has served this community with such distinction, with such good humor, with such cleverness as well as knowledge, navigating all kinds of things that end up to be a bump in the road to make it all look seamless to the folks who attend and enjoy it. So thank you, Bruce Figler. There are a whole raft of other people to be thanked, including a a staff of volunteers who assist Bruce. I'm not going to go into all the names because I'm going to miss some, but let me also say the two folks sitting right over here, Eric Morrissey and Alyssa Hochstein. This thing is way too big for us to do, but it's way too good not to do it. And this whole thing every year brings everybody a little bit close to the edge of the cliff, but collectively we talk ourselves back from the cliff, and I cannot imagine whether anywhere on earth there are two people who could deliver what they deliver under this kind of pressure, with the phone ringing off the hook and their regular day job clamoring for their attention at the same time, and who show up on a hot summer day and stay there all day dealing with all kinds of good things, but a whole bunch of frustrations that inevitably come along. So it's noticed, it's appreciated, it's remarkable, and I told Alyssa that, God, it was so good, we should do this 3-4 times a year, and she said, I think I'll be busy feeding my goldfish. So, thank you guys, thank you Jesse, thanks to the zillion other people who were involved, and a very big shout out to Northwell Health, the operator of our two adjacent hospitals, Phelps Memorial in Sleepy Hollow and Northern Westchester Hospital in Mount Kisco. Northwell stepped up with really no persuasion whatsoever. We offered the question of whether they would take the lead to support the music festival as the presenting sponsor, and they said, of course. They came through in a big way, and we couldn't be happier to have had their involvement. And for all of you who came to the festival, you should know that that festival can't happen without that kind of support. So thank you, Northwell, and thank you to the many other sponsors who made it possible. Let me tell you, it's worth going to PleasantvilleMusicFestival.com, scrolling through, and seeing the people who made this happen. Also seeing the videos that were up for each of the bands. And soon enough at PCTV76.org and at PleasantvilleMusicFestival.com, down the road there'll be some opportunities to relive all that happened at the music festival on July 9. But I just leave with the comment that I heard from so many people, what a great day, what a fantastic family event, what a fantastic event for people of all ages, what a great day for Pleasantville, New York, putting it in a great, further establishing its reputation as a center for music and the arts. And I add to that so many of the bands, including some of the relatively big name bands, are like, wow, this was a great place to be. So thank you to everybody. A great day for Pleasantville, New York. Music Festival 16 in the books. A couple of other things to say. On a less exciting note, I just want to remind folks that COVID is still around after a period of time, a few months back, when we saw relatively few positives through the New York State system. We're now seeing positives through the New York State system pretty much every day, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Recognize also that probably the vast majority of people who test positive are testing positive at home through home tests, and they never end up in the state system. So just at the moment, the state system is showing 33 active cases in Pleasantville. That no doubt is a very significant undercount of the reality. And just today, for example, we saw 7 new positives. So just want to remind everybody that obviously things are better in many, many ways, but there's all kinds of chatter in the world about the new variants and what the impacts of all those things may be. So folks should pay attention and try to be cautious in an environment where there's an opportunity to be so. Couple of other quick things to report. We had a really happy report when the 2022 Best of Westchester winners were announced. And I'll just buzz through this this ever-growing longer list pretty quickly, but it's pretty impressive for a community of our size. Best of Westchester winners included Arc Stages, Breaking Ground Dance Center, Falafel Taco, Fat Root, Jacob Burns Film Center, the Karen Young Yoga Studio, Magician Phil the Magic Man, Left Terrace Gyro, Lucy's Lounge, the Pleasantville Farmers Market, Pro Clinic Sports Physical Therapy and Chiropractic Wellness, Prospero Winery, Pub Street, Route to Rise Cafe, Second Mouse Cheese Shop, Sundance Deli, Soul Brewing, Southern Table, Black Cow Coffee Company, Taco Project, Tom Saliano, Golf Pro up at Pleasantville Country Club, and the Zwilling Cooking Studio over at Henkel's. So I don't know this for a fact, but I'm guessing that on a number of bests per capita, we got to be near the top of the list in Westchester County. So congratulations to all of you guys, and congratulations to the Chamber of Commerce, which plays a role in all of that, not only in supporting all of our commerce, but also in getting out the word when folks win.
Very proud of all our members.
All right. The last thing I wanted to remind folks of, as you saw tonight, some of the exciting developments as folks have retired in our police department and folks are promoted and there are new hires. As part of our police reform process of a year ago, one of the things that goes on is that Police Chief Grutzner comes back on a quarterly basis and makes a public presentation about the experience of the police department and what went on in the previous quarter. Those are also up online, and you can always take a look at the past ones, and you can take a look at the PowerPoints that he presents. But he also produces on a weekly basis and publishes a summary of some of the representative items in our police blotter, and that's also a good way for folks to keep an eye on what goes on. I've seen some chatter on Facebook about the relatively modest and minor infractions that sometimes attract attention in the police blotter. I can tell you that's evidence of the fact that Pleasantville is a great place and a very safe place. That doesn't mean that nothing ever happens. Doesn't mean we don't meet a police department. And further to what I said at the outset about the music festival, we had a great organization and planning process for security at the Pleasantville Music Festival. Shout out to the county sheriffs and to the county police who assisted us with managing such a big event, and proud to report that they had very little to do. So that's exactly what we hope to do, to be prepared and to have not too much to do. So thanks to all, very much appreciated. Anybody else have any other announcements to make?
No.
All right. With that, let me share my screen and we will finish our resolutions. Okay. Resolution number 207. I guess that's Michael's turn, right?
Yep.
Yes. Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby accepts the resignation from community service worker Jalen Laboy effective July 10th, 2022.
Is there a second?
Second.
So we accept this with some regret. Jalen did a great job for us as a community service worker, parking enforcement officer, occasionally pressed into service as a crossing guard. He is moving on to the police academy for the opportunity to work as a police officer, and we are sad to see him leave, but not at all surprised that he's rising to the next page in the chapter of his career. So all in favor? Aye.
I would say more than occasionally a crossing guard. He's a kid favorite.
Is he?
He absolutely was. Yeah.
All right.
So sad to see him go.
Does not surprise me in the least. That
Yeah.
he just done a great job for us down at the farm market.
Yeah.
He's just sad to see him go. Maybe we'll get him back at some point.
There you go.
208 ball.
Result of the Board of Trustees hereby approves the following budget amendments for the fiscal year of 2022, effective May 31st, 2022, as listed below. The amount of $899.09 from the camp part-time to the account of preschool rec part-time, $326.50 from parks equipment to the shade trees contractual, for a total of $1,225.59.
Is there a second?
Second.
Pretty straightforward. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. 209, back to you, Michael.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the abstract for payment of claims dated July 11th, 2022 for fiscal year 2022, covering check numbers 104450 to 104458 from the General Fund $34,545.35, from the Capital Fund $1,425, for a total of $35,970.35.
Is there a second?
Second.
I only wish our twice a month check registers had a number that ended like that. The painful reality is that this is simply reflecting items that accrued to our fiscal year that ended at the end of May. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. Now we get to the regularly big one, Paul. 210.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the abstract for payment of claims dated July 11th, 2022 for the fiscal year of 2023, covering check numbers 104271 through 104449. General Fund $255,159.65. Water Fund $44,825.54. Capital Fund $152.90. Refuse Fund $80,573.65 for a total of $381,411.74.
Is there a second?
Second.
Comments or questions about the payment of claims? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion approved. 211, Michael.
Resolved that the Village Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the village administrator to execute the agreement attached hereto with RJB Service for towing services.
Is there a second?
Second.
So, Eric, can you just comment on this? We had some commentary a meeting or so ago from someone who was unhappy about the issue of cash versus credit cards. You've dug into that a bit.
Sure. So we engaged our village attorney to draft a formal service agreement with the tow company. Many municipalities don't enter into a service agreement. Many do. So the village attorney works with some municipalities that have this template in place. What we found out, and based on the feedback of one community member, was the cash only for impoundment was a big inconvenience. That is actually industry standard in the towing industry. In fact, the village attorney doesn't have a service agreement without that in there. So that is included, but what we did is memorialize the rates and the services to be provided within the contract. So.
And if I understood correctly, the issue of requiring cash payment is for folks who are upset about their impoundment and then give a credit card, but then dispute the charge.
Correct. They appeal the charge.
Right. So.
Wow.
I wonder why that is different than any other transaction in our society.
Right. It may be.
I mean, I think it likely has to do with the fact that folks are unhappy about having had their car towed.
Sure, but there are other things that happen that make people unhappy that cost money.
That is true. Well, we could dig into that.
No, I'm just kind of just a little bit surprised, I guess.
If you don't pay the if you don't pay the electric bill, they turn the power off. So.
Can I ask one question? Yeah.
I mean, it does make me wonder.
Shane McGaffey, 75 Broadway. Just on that, is debit allowed? I mean, do people have to have actual cash on them, or can they bring their debit card, or is that considered cash?
Oh, that's a good question. I can follow up. And honestly, the owner is very. So I asked, can you ease up on that with our clientele, and he seemed willing to do so on a case by case basis. So I think debit card would be fine, but I can call to.
Great. I think that's a great idea. Thank you for that, Shane. So the agreement attached has dates to be filled in. You'll attend to that as an administrative matter?
Yep.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. 212, Michael.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the minutes of the regular meeting held on June 27, 2022, and the minutes of the special meetings held on July 1st and July 7th, 2022.
Is there a second?
Second.
So those two special meetings were very brief meetings of 10 minutes or so, largely related to the need to approve some of the costs so checks can be ready for the music festival on the day of the event. Comments, corrections, questions regarding the minutes?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. Last but not least, 213, Paul.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the request from Nicole Sarabuo, 6 Douglas Drive, to hold a block party and thereby close Douglas Drive from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. Is there a date?
Yeah, we should amend that to include the date.
It says July 23rd on the application.
Right.
Okay, so with the
All right.
amendment of July 23rd, 2022.
Is there a second?
Second.
Approved as amended? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. That is the last of our resolutions and our regular agenda items. Is there any comment of any sort from any member of the public? We have no one here in the room after we had a big audience for the police appointments. I'm looking at Zoom panelists. Only one available. Raise your hand if you have a question. All right. There being none, is there a motion to go into executive session to discuss real property and personnel matters?
Do we have the work session item of Fat Root, or are we?
Oh,
are we
I'm
skipping
sorry,
that?
you're right. Yes, is there, we will return to work session to finish discussion about Fat Root and their proposed improvements on Jackson Alley. Is there a motion to return to work session for that purpose, but then to go into executive session to discuss real property and personnel?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. Congratulations, our new Lieutenant Gilmartin, our new Sergeant Holly, our new Police Officer Alonzo, and congratulations to every single one of the folks who participated in making possible the 16th Annual Pleasantville Music Festival. A great night. Thank you for watching. Good night.